Thank you very much, Leaf. And this should be a good one, Subi, and rightfully so. They are probably on Space Station's side. History not in favor of FaZe here against Space Station.
Not even remotely. When you look at the head-to-head matchup, I believe FaZe / the Peeps back in the past have taken down Space Station Gaming twice, and that's going all the way back to like fall. So yeah, Space Station Gaming has just had FaZe's number all over the place, and it's going to be a fun one, like you alluded to, because we've got two of the top demoers in North America, Reddles and Gyro, going up against one another.
It's going to be a tough fight, but FaZe got a lot to play for. Top spot in the group would be nice, but for now, we'll see how they handle this push from Space Station. Cynical towards the wall, and Arsenal trying to jam things in the corner. This could let them out for FaZe. Unfortunately for them, Reddles and Gyro now. This is a little bit of an awkward start for both teams.
Absolutely awkward, yeah. It doesn't really show you what their play styles truly are. You see Gyro bumping Illusion there, and I think it's the nerves right now between both teams because of the history. And I don't think it's nerves as far as, oh, we want to, not lose. It's, oh, we want to absolutely crush you and pound you into the ground right now. They just want to be as aggressive as possible, and you can see that with the midfield play right now.
It was a real nice job from AJ getting away from that demo coming at him from Arsenal to work out a clear, and Illusion realizing Arsenal can't track that ball down either, but Space Station reluctant to let FaZe out of the blue half for the start of the game here. As one more time, Typical, he is just going to rip one back towards the blue side, and he had a fantastic defensive regional in regional number 2. I'm curious to see if he continues to play that deep third man with a solid back line for him again here.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because that is his strength, especially being up on that back wall as well. So good at reading the shots and passes that are coming in and just cutting off the angle before a shot can even be put on target. But I'm looking out for Space Station Gaming. I want to see the passes that they brought last regional, and Typical almost buys one there from Illusion, but still not over. Space Station Gaming pressing and a good big clear there. But my goodness, Space Station Gaming continue to just pepper the net right now.
Pressing, but you're gonna run out of boost eventually. It's just a matter of time of can you get the ball in the back of the net before that happens, and unfortunately for them, no, but Reddles had time to run all the way back to his own half and put the ball back into the mix. One more go of things for Space Station on offense as it's Arsenal now back out into the middle. Typical over the top off the ceiling. He's really stretching for it. He's gonna leave it for Arsenal. It's gonna ricochet off the post. Everyone gonna have to reset themselves here, and FaZe may actually have some breathing room. Just kidding. Arsenal's right there.
Yeah, just kidding indeed. You see AJ just hitting that ball, just trying to buy breathing room. And right now, got to be able to place those balls in your defensive half to teammates. Try and break out. That's a hard shot, but Typical waiting on that side wall. Great defense shown from Space Station Gaming. They haven't had to bring much so far here in game number 1.
Finally, you get to see FaZe on offense for a little bit, but that demo in the midfield, as well as not being able to get that big block on Typical's clear, means they have to fight for possession at the midfield line. Illusion out into the middle for AJ. He doesn't have a lot of help pushing forward, and looking for demos as FaZe is the only option here is going to be Gyro to buy a little extra time, and we'll see if that's going to be enough for FaZe to even it out. And again, Illusion having to pull off a challenge there, and FaZe want to stay on offense. They're going to have to start getting their hands on those, but they've still done it one way or the other. Gyro in a 1v1. Arsenal has no time to recover. AJ is going to come through. Don't get home. 1-0.
I love this fake from Illusion. You see Arsenal bit on that, gave Gyro a little bit of room, and it just came down to a beautiful 50-50 there from Gyro to set up AJ. And it was wide open, and FaZe strike first here in game number 1.
Little breakdown in communication as well there for Space Station Gaming. Reddles coming across and also challenging that play along with Arsenal. They both went for the same ball, which meant nobody in position for the follow-up shot. And despite FaZe having to play a lot of defense in this game, they find themselves out in the lead with about 90 seconds left. As Space Station Reddles lifted, it's a stretch to see if this one's going to go, and Arsenal just waiting his turn here. I don't know if Space Station really has much, especially with that demo on Reddles.
I mean, isn't this just the perfect FaZe game? They sit back on defense, so patient on that back line, just covering up, kind of just turning into a turtle and getting into their shell, and then All they need, one little opportunity, and they strike. It just makes them so dangerous.
Oh dear, AJ with a big miss. Typical in the 1-on-2. He wants the bump on Illusion. Hair late on that approach. And thankfully, FaZe able to recover. AJ out for gyro. His only option was to chip it into the corner, and Reddle's right on it. Spacestation running out of time here. Do they have a couple more solid clears to come through?
Spacestation having to work so hard, but that's a good pass. Reddle slowing things down, but AJ just immediately challenges that ball and puts it right back into the orange half. Less than 30 seconds to go here. And Spacestation Gaming have looked decent on offense, but man, they've had to work hard and have nothing to show for it.
Missed opportunity to really put the game on ice there. Illusion off the wall. Reddle's to himself, and it's really what Spacestation likes to do, just get the ball in Reddle's hands, and generally they feel pretty confident, but now with only 4 seconds left, they're all going to have to make some type of play. A nasty pinch right back into the middle of the pitch, and FaZe Clan going to last just long enough to knock off Spacestation Gaming despite a rough start to that game. They actually end up pretty even across the scoreboard.
Yeah, you could see the frustration starting to unfold there for Spacestation Gaming in game number 1. They just came out of the gate so hot, and it seemed like it was all them in the first half of gameplay, and FaZe Clan just sat there patiently and waited for their opportunity to strike, and all it came down to was a simple 1v1 fast break. The fake came out, and a beautiful setup from Gyro, but man, FaZe Clan just is so good at getting goals out of so limited opportunities.
Yeah, only what, 2-4-6, so 6 shots for both teams there, and FaZe really having to work hard. They a little fortunate. Spacestation gave them that opportunity back on the other side, but one way or another, able to take advantage of a mistake, and that is really a big determining factor in a lot of games at the RLCS level. If you got a fairly even game, you make the last mistake, you tend to lose. And Spacestation definitely did in the start of this series. AJ does not have the boost to beat Sypical, as Illusion and Gyro both in the same spot. Neither of them is going to make contact. Reddle's just going to chop one down. If he'd hit that with more pace over to Sypical, Spacestation probably score there.
Yeah, I think Sypical didn't pipe up loud enough to let him know he was wide open, and Reddle's just trying to get it underneath the defender because Illusion and Gyro double committed on that, but somehow Illusion was able to hang onto that back wall and get that save. And here's a good challenge, and Reddles gets up in time, but again, Spacestation just hitting that ball right to where FaZe Clan is.
Good chance to break out there. Reddles in a good spot. Unfortunately, his teammate still off grabbing boost and one step behind the play and evening themselves out a little bit here in the midfield. Reddles went for a demo out on that blue goal line, and actually means that they had a little bit of extra space to work with here, and we'll see if they can hold down the midfield line. Sypical actually going to give up that space, though.
I mean, that's kind of funny because Gyro did the exact same thing at the exact same time. Gyro was in the orange half, Reddles was in the blue half, just looking for demos and trying to steal each other's boosts. But there's a nice pass cut out from AJ. I love how quick he is to get to those challenges.
Nice communication between Arsenal and Sypical, trying to figure out how they should layer the defense here on defense. Fast transition for Spacestation, despite being pretty completely covered up. Reddle's able to work a couple of balls over some defenders and out into the opposite corner, and here's where you really need to see that aggression from Spacestation come through. They can keep that ball close with them around the corner, just get that one touch out and hit the demo, then you're going to start to see them really open up some defenses.
Oh, they were trying to set up a pinch there, and Reddles can't get the touch. AJ gets the shot, and just like that, FaZe Clan goes from 0 shots to 1 goal.
Love the recognition from Arsenal. He knew pretty much off the car of Illusion that was going to be a tough ball to handle for Reddles, and he tried to get up there and help his teammate out with that read off the backboard, but that shot just so hard, and it was such a difficult read to make in such a short amount of time that he couldn't cover up. And unfortunately for them, again, Spacestation Gaming playing a pretty solid game, just can't handle an awkward scenario put in front of them.
Well, that's because FaZe is just an awkward team. They're so passively aggressive, you know what I mean? Achieves like they'll sit back, but at the same time they'll come and punch you in the mouth and demo you off the field. And the pass almost came to fruition. But yeah, AJ avoided that one. He's seen it too many times, and FaZe reset on defense.
Arsenal as well. I think he might have mistimed his approach on the ball, but here's another demo attempt. They forced Gyro up the backboard. Unfortunately, that's right where the pass went. And Spacestation Gaming Looking for something. Not the best clear from AJ, but he definitely has a couple of extra touches to see if he can work it past the line.
Oh, nice pass from Arsenal. Unfortunately, a little too much sauce put on it, and Reynolds couldn't catch up. As Aleutian bumps Reynolds off the back wall and gets a piece of Arsenal, but it's a little too high, and the backboard denies.
Oof, scary one for Spacestation. They actually had that one well defended. It was just a big bump play from AJ, as Typical going to take away another shot towards the backboard. And again, coming up on 90 seconds, does Reynolds just beat all of them? Yes, he did.
Oh, where was he in the 1v1? Because he just 1v2'd the defense. AJ by, and Gyro thought he could get that boost and get to the back wall in time, but Reynolds, so quick, so speedy, just able to get over both defenders.
Very well played from Spacestation, get themselves back in it. That's the first goal of the series. And looking for two here off the kickoff. Typical to himself. He's definitely going to need a little bit of help here. It comes in the form of Arsenal, but the only play is a dump off into the corner, and Spacestation kind of poking and prodding here the defensive phase to see what they can get away with. The answer at the moment, not much, as it's actually AJ putting the pressure on him, and he was trying to get on top of Arsenal's challenge. And thankfully, Arsenal able to deflect out into the safety of the corner.
I mean, if he had just a little bit more boost, just a skosh, he would have been able to get up there, but zero boost couldn't do much more other than fall on top of it. That's a dangerous pass, but Reynolds couldn't find the angle, and I love how Spacestation, they're starting to have their head on a swivel, seeing where their teammates are and looking for those infield passes.
Oh, nice demo from Reynolds, and Arsenal doing a great job to work that and keep that ball in the offensive half, as Reynolds going to squeeze one in between a couple defenders. He just went for this one.
I mean, you heard him last regional. He said he wants to be the best player in the world because he thinks he is, and that is just a quick up off of the ground. The speed to get to that ball caught the defense tripping.
Love the no hesitation. It's not often you can feel confident just hopping up for one that takes a bounce off the ceiling out of the corner. Is Arsenal trying to put the game away. Sipicles lays another one up, and Reynolds knows better than to try and force the issue here. Can't afford to give up a counterattack late in the game. Tries to bide some extra time, and indeed it pays dividends. Arsenal going to make it 3-1.
Oh my goodness. Look how tiny this window was that he had to aim at. Just big enough for the ball to get through, and he puts it there perfectly.
He dotted that one. Beautiful shot from Arsenal. Very likely that will seal the deal here for this game, barring some real wizardry, and it may come in the form of AJ. They did just get the demo on the back line, but Reynolds, again, going to break up another play.
And now this is definitely a good turnaround game here for Spacestation Gaming. The offense nowhere to be found in game number 1, and then they come out in game number 2 and put on 9 shots on target and almost get a 4th goal there at the end. But just like that, we're all tied up.
Well played, Spacestation, and you said it, 9 shots. There's the pressure, and how about Typical? Doesn't even register any shots, but knocks down a couple of assists, getting the ball into scoreable spots, and gotta love Spacestation's midfield game here in game 2. I mean, a couple of big blocks, and the decision-making is really what makes the difference between do we press or do we give a little bit of ground so we can play from a stronger position.
Exactly. The amount of times you saw a player, you could almost see their thought process happening like, if I challenge this, I'm going to be giving up our back line, and a long clear over our heads could very easily go in the back of the net. They just did a good job at boxing in FaZe into their own half, and that shot by Arsenal, man, the precision, the accuracy, so incredible. It's just so hard to defend against a team like this when you've got Typical, you have Arsenal, and then you have Reynolds able to just hit the insane shots, and then you top it off with the mechanics that all of them have. Tough work.
But overall, still a tough game for Spacestation to win. They played well, and the scoreline does them credit, but it was 1-1 all the way up until Reynolds got real aggressive and fired one into the top right-hand corner with about 30 seconds left. So FaZe by no means out of this one, and right now, starting off game 3 with a good bit of pressure, slightly mistiming the approaches AJ. One way or the other, the ball still trapped here in the orange corner.
Oh my goodness, great carry there from Typical, and he's just looked for AJ. But good patience there. You know how many times I've jumped up like that to get demoed? It's so hard to stay on your wheels like that.
God, I love the poise from AJ on the goal line there. Reynolds isn't done with it yet. Another ball across the net, and Typical now getting aggressive. Arsenal just trying to hold on to the ball, and Reynolds as well going to do the exact same thing, make sure his teammates have time to get boost. Now he wants to block, and Reynolds going to manipulate the challenge perfectly.
Oh, baby, put this one up on a poster and pin it to your wall. Reynolds over 2 for FaZe Clan. My goodness, he's starting to heat up.
Beautiful air dribble from Reynolds, knowing do not drive it into them, let them make the clear and just be in the right place, as Gyro misses a chance to clear the field early, and now Spacestation again out here in the blue corner.
And still for FaZe. Oh, what a nasty shot from Gyro. He made you think he's going high, then goes low. But with that being said, FaZe, AJ's the only one to score so far, and this is numbers for Spacestation, but Reynolds with an awkward flip. Not sure if he meant to do that. And it's just a hard shot put on from Arsenal.
And actually, Reynolds is probably looking for Gyro, or Arsenal again, excuse me. Gyro's on the other team.
Yeah, they don't play together anymore.
Yeah, it's you know, you get used to one thing for so long. And unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But right now, Spacestation trying to keep a good thing going. And they've got another 3 minutes to go to put FaZe on match point, as Gyro, very awkward position, but handled well by Typical out of the midfield. Arsenal, not so much. AJ threw 1, not quite 2, but able to back Typical away from the play and get FaZe some time on offense.
Great challenge from AJ. He did exactly what you said on that Reynolds dunk of positioning himself exactly where the clear would go, and just didn't get enough power on it, but was on target. Such a smart heads-up play from AJ.
Oh, and the speed on defense as well from AJ, taking away some of these beautiful passing plays from Spacestation. Lucian down across, only to empty space though, which going to give away a little bit of possession. Typical rips one top right corner, just in front of the nose of Gyro.
Well, and this is one of those balls where you don't know if it's a shot or a pass because Reynolds is so close. So as a defender, what do? You got to try and challenge the shot, but that's too late. And the placement from Typical, perfection.
That was gross. I mean, Typical can't. You're right, because Typical's car language, when you're looking at that from the defender, it's looking like he's trying to dump that out into the middle, but it just hits it on the back edge of that car, and they get another one off the kickoff. 3-0 Spacestation.
Oh boy, just right after the last goal from Typical, Arsenal delivers another, and this one's starting to get out of hand for FaZe Clan.
Frustrating for FaZe, no doubt. Definitely locked in there going into this kickoff. They know they're not quite out of it, but they know they have to make something happen. 2 minutes down 3 is a lot to ask for any team, but they really don't want to have to win 2 straight against Spacestation in 4 and 5, especially now that you said it earlier, Spacestation really starting to heat up.
Yeah, it's looking like they're just carrying that momentum from the last regional, coming back as the champs and, you know, really wanting to defend that and be back-to-back here. But 3v1, dangerous situation, and that challenge from Arsenal, so smart. Don't sit back and wait for the demos to come out, the bumps, the passes.
Wow.
Just go challenge that ball.
Lucian is an absolute wizard for getting out of that unscathed and making the save. AJ is trying to dunk one in over the defender. Unfortunately, Typical made the angle so tight, AJ could only just put it off the bar. And Reynolds, very smart approach to that challenge there. Unfortunately, lost possession. Couldn't quite recover cleanly and scrum for the ball at the midfield line. And now in the hands of Lucian and punted downfield. Reynolds right there on it. And time's a-wasting if you're FaZe.
Yeah. And you would think Spacestation Gaming would be done, but no. Typical still going for demos on that back line. They still want to just pile it on for FaZe Clan, and this could be one. What a nasty pass, but Lucian, good patience there to cover up the goal line. And 50 seconds remain. It would be nothing short of a miracle if FaZe Clan can put themselves back in this game.
And Reynolds trying to make sure that can't happen. Saved by Gyro, and ooh, this as well. Can't afford to have that either. And unfortunately with that, likely the end of this game here. As, again, Spacestation, that midfield line, every now and again, FaZe doing a nice job to break out of it. But for the most part, the challenge game from Spacestation at the middle of the pitch, where it's really critical to earn yourself a little bit of operating room, has been so good, and probably the biggest hurdle that FaZe have had to try and get over in this series to get themselves on offense.
I mean, yeah, they haven't had much offense in this game. It's been so hard to break out. And another one.
No points for you, Reynolds.
Arsenal said, I'm going to steal this one. And Typical said, oh, yeah, are you? Here, let me show you how to do it.
Reynolds does all quote unquote all the hard work there. Both of his teammates making sure he gets nothing. Too bad, so sad. What are you going to do? Well, move on to the next game and put FaZe on match point. Excellent game from Spacestation here.
Absolutely. And you look
Is that a dance from Arsenal right there?
You look at the scoreboard. I don't know. He's warming his hands up, trying to make sure that they close him out here. But 4 shots in this game from FaZe Clan. When you look over at SSG, 12. So this was just all SSG up and down the field. And FaZe Clan have some thinking to do here. And really, this first minute in game number 4 going to be so important.
Gotta figure out how to get out of defense. That's really where it's all going to begin. And usually, you know, I feel pretty good a lot of the time seeing FaZe on defense. You know, they've got some great defensive players in AJ. He's been good overall on defense, getting out and breaking a lot of stuff up, but you can't block everything, right? And Illusion as well, he's also a quality defender. And Gyro is really this outlet player who tends to just fill in the gaps, and he does a great job at that. But problem is they're not really ever in a position where they can pass the ball to each other in their own half. They're constantly having to fight Spacestation. It's that challenge game because FaZe just doesn't have the space to operate and get some room to work with. And a lot of the times, the only way you ever get that space is you have to start taking these things on air dribbles, or you got to just find some way to just punt the ball up the pitch. You need to get Spacestation to back off. Otherwise, you're going to have a repeat of the last 2 games.
Well, I mean, it's so hard for FaZe Clan because you look at their back third and it's like, okay, I'm going to push up. But every time he pushes a little too far forward, Spacestation Gaming is there to just, all right, we're going to do a short little Oh, what a bump. But unfortunately, AJ a little too wide on that shot. But back to what I was saying, Achieves, is if FaZe Clan just can't catch a break on offense, because once they try and push forward, Spacestation Gaming comes out with the little passes to break out of their own half, and they're right into their offense.
They've finally done a little bit of it here, but Gyro, not willing to get aggressive and maybe concede the first goal, decides to play defense, and now you're seeing some decent enough clears from FaZe, at least able to work themselves over onto the orange a couple of times at the start. You said the first minute's going to be very important, and right now, it's looking to be in a good place for FaZe.
Yeah, they're getting some offense going. They're not giving up defense, and that is a very, very crucial challenge there from Illusion. Denies not 1, but 2 SSG players.
You go aggressive as that third man like Illusion does there. You really start playing with fire because, yeah, he might have won the first one, but it's the second one that makes the difference, because if he gets crushed on that second guy, they're giving up a goal real quick.
Uh-oh, back line, and you saw both Illusion and Gyro realize it at the same time and turn back in unison as Spacestation Gaming still yet to find any offense here. Both teams 1 shot apiece, but the demo comes out. Man advantage for FaZe Clan, and AJ turned away by Arsenal.
Didn't have the time to get up there and really put the pressure on Spacestation. AJ's approach was correct. His angle was correct. It's just he had to take those 1 or 2 extra seconds to drive up to the ball, and that gave Spacestation time to cut the angle down and really kind of pigeonhole AJ's options there and not give him too many different looks at the net.
Oh, this is going to be a good one here for FaZe, but Typical monster challenge, and AJ and Gyro accidentally collided midfield. Typical nice hard shot, but AJ back in time. And it's just incredible how quick you're just looking at the field and nowhere, out of nowhere rather, a shot comes out from SSG and it is just a rocket on target.
Oh, and Illusion was really banking on having AJ to back him up there as Gyro and Illusion now. It's those two on offense, and Unfortunately, AJ, third man, is coming through a little bit late. Arsenal right on Gyro, is not getting tied up by the ball getting thrown into the midfield. He has to slap it off the back wall of the blue side and leave it for Sipical in the midfield. This one, much better look from FaZe. Very similar to game one in terms of scoreline, but very different play out.
Yeah, you can see how patient they're being because they realize, yes, back's against the wall, and right now, 0-0 very well could be one goal wins this game, and they cannot just give a freebie over to SSG. And a little slowdown here midfield. I think Sipical was waiting for the boost pad there, but it looks like FaZe Clan's going to get this ball out as AJ, that's a good challenge there, good 50, and this is a dangerous ball. On target, but Sipical gets up in time.
And you can see Arsenal also having to give a little extra room away to FaZe to secure the boost and also not get demoed. So Spacestation really having to contend with a lot of pressure here from FaZe. It's all they can do to hold him off. Reynolds on transition forces AJ up to the backboard. He misses the touch, and now it's going to get a little squirrely for FaZe. Thankfully, Spacestation does have to back off and grab some boost. That should give everyone a little time to breathe at least.
Yeah, that's what's dangerous about those all-in plays is you use a lot of your boost to get all the way downfield. So you get one opportunity and you miss that. Got to make sure you rotate back and get that boost. A dangerous pass, and Reynolds off of the crossbar. Almost squeezed it in.
And AJ just, that's exactly what you want to see out of him. You got to force Spacestation back onto the defensive side with that nice long air dribble, even if it's really not with any other intent other than just get it out of your own half. It's exactly what you need to even the playing field again. Unfortunately for them, they don't hang on to it for too long. Gyro misses one off the back wall as well. And Sipical, great couple of challenges, but right back into the mix, and I'm looking forward to a 0-0 OT.
Absolutely. And you saw there, Gyro with a very uncharacteristic back wall whiff. He's normally one of the strongest ones back there. You can always count on him to at least make some sort of contact. As less than 30 seconds to go here. Reynolds looking to end it. Did get the right angle, but Gyro pushed it in the corner.
Well, AJ trying to take his time. They want the last opportunity for themselves. Pass to Illusion, picked off by Sipical. Gyro on the goal line already. He will be demoed for his troubles. Arsenal to Reynolds. He's got Sipical lined up. There's a float. Look at Arsenal, but the pressure on the goal line. The pass too high, though. It's back to Arsenal, and I think Spacestation Gaming thought they were headed to OT. Now they're in a real weird spot, and this is not going to be easy. Thankfully, that bounce off the corner was fast enough to beat FaZe to the ball, and it touched the ground.
Oh, baby. Well, Achieves, I know you're a fan of chess, and how about a 5-minute chess match that we just watched unfold before our eyes as going to overtime, and you get your wish, 0-0. Next goal wins, and if it's Spacestation, they march forward.
Lots of different options and lots to consider, and in overtime it only gets worse. Illusion gonna make us go to an extra 5 minutes. It doesn't take long. Look at FaZe on the kickoff.
He just tucks the ball underneath the defenders. Great shot placement, and way to read the back wall defender, seeing where he's positioned. And FaZe Clan come out of overtime unscathed.
The best part is Illusion doesn't actually have any boost there. I went to his camera and he just kind of jumped up with what he had in the tank, all that was left, just to make sure he could reach that ball, and he actually couldn't really place it beyond what he was going for. And that's the power of, it's not a perfect information game like chess is for Spacestation Gaming. They see Illusion jumping a ball and they think, oh boy, he's either going to rip something across the net to the back post or up high. And so you position up on the backboard here. You can see Reynolds sees him coming, but Illusion, he can't really do anything else. So just catches Reynolds expecting something totally different.
Hey, good on FaZe Clan to take what they are given and send us into a game 5, my friend. I love these. This is what Rocket League is all about, and I wouldn't have guessed any other thing between these two teams.
Well played, like you said, for FaZe in game 4, and the history has not been kind to them, as you mentioned at the start of the series. 2 wins going all the way back to fall out of the many, many times they have played Spacestation Gaming, and a chance to earn a little bit of vengeance. But Spacestation, we already know, not going to let that go lightly.
That was a big miss, but how about that pinch from Gyro? Get this ball all the way back into the orange half, and Typical coming all the way off that back wall, uses a lot of boost doing so, and Illusion just stole that side boost from him. AJ got the corner, but it doesn't matter. Reynolds breaks out and gives Spacestation a little bit of breathing room, and more importantly, the time to get that boost.
Great challenge from Gyro to equalize the playing field. Reynolds also looking for the demos to reset the play for both teams. Arsenal, that's a float towards the backboard. Illusion, you can't afford to miss it. And how about he also got the touch into the corner? Not an easy play to make.
Oh, you saw the correction there from Typical mid-air, trying to get that demo, and Illusion unfazed by that shot as Typical, great read off that side wall and turned away by AJ.
Oh, Reynolds one step too far back there to put the pressure on the defense from FaZe, who's dismounting off the backboard. Spacestation so close to being able to take advantage of a small gap. As Floater out in front, only one there is Gyro. Spacestation gonna take the time to grab some boost and hopefully set up another long press that we've seen in this series a couple of times from him now. Gyro has pretty much an uncontested push down the middle. Thankfully, he had no boost. And Illusion's focused on just winning the challenges right here, but I don't know if either team is gonna like this. Goodbye, AJ.
Oh, he was just sitting there saying, hey, I'm open. Illusion right here. And he's just taken out. Got to make sure you're constantly looking behind you, looking left and right, because you know Space Station, if they see a man sitting like a duck, they're going to just take him out.
Space Station still fighting on defense. Typical going to force AJ forward on the play, leave Gyro to buy some time in the midfield line. AJ looking for demos on the goal line as well. As Space Station tie each other up, but one way or the other, they end up with the ball. And Floater for Arsenal, he knows this is not worth his time, was looking for some boost steals. Gyro already on it, and AJ kind enough to give him the ball as well.
You know, I think that was FaZe Plan's best offensive push as Reynolds was looking for Illusion. This is going to be awkward. Ball's going to waterfall down, but AJ there on that backboard to clean things up. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I think that offensive push was the best we've seen from FaZe Plan, and you know, more of those. And you could see Space Station Gaming getting a little uncomfortable on the defensive end, as that was a little awkward.
AJ is so good, though. I mean, Reynolds absolutely had him in a terrible position, and AJ knowing not to commit for that ball so that Reynolds could just throw him out of the way there. That was your microcosm chess match. Well played, AJ.
Oh, what a pass! And what a shot! Reynolds finding Typical for the first one here in Game 5.
Reynolds just getting aggressive, and he gets out in front of that play. I mean, he's basically like he's never going to touch the ball, but he ends up putting himself in the perfect position on the backboard ahead of the play just to go knock it back down. What a pass indeed.
And back pass is one of the most dangerous things in Rocket League. And Gyro, given a lot of space, gets the bump. Net's a little open, but AJ has to slow it down.
Illusion can stretch, but he can't stretch all the way around the ball. As Gyro just trying to keep the pressure in. Typical. The big muscles on that one, forcing everybody to back up 1 or 2 steps. Gyro able to dodge Arsenal's demo. He's got a little flip reset close to the floor, and nothing going to come of it.
Oh, what a touch there. What a touch from Arsenal. The mechanics from SSG right now are unparalleled.
What a touch is right in the clean recovery, and just the understanding to, upon landing, jump and then just turn your car to the right, because you know that gets you to the angle to the back post. You know you're a good player when you're not concerned with how hard you're going to hit it. You already know you're going to hit it hard. You just care about where it goes when you do. Beautiful shot from Arsenal. Gets the perfect read on the bounce off the top corner. And 3-0 out of nowhere for Space Station.
I don't think anyone was expecting that ball to just take a 90-degree angle and go straight down to the goal line. But Arsenal was just sitting there just in case. Got a little bumped into it, but the fake doesn't work out. And sometimes when you go all in, you go up against pocket aces.
They went for a risky play, and unfortunately for them, no dice. Arsenal, he's just like, I mean, I'm just going to hit the ball. And neither of you guys did, so we win.
I mean, and he makes it look easy, but that right there was a big brain play because he knew, okay, they're down 3. Like, they need a goal right now. I betcha they're going to try and cheat this, and he guessed right.
And AJ still not able to get one back. Arsenal racing as fast as he could out of his own corner, going for the shutout here in Game 5. And FaZe Clan, I think with that one, you can tip your cap, say goodbye to the series. You played a great game. The Game 4 was phenomenal. Game 5 was also an excellent matchup. It was really just Spacestation was able to work a couple of beautiful plays in succession together, and it got out of hand quite quickly.
Well, one thing is for sure about Spacestation Gaming, they do not like being shut out. Game 1, shut out, and in Game 2, they score 3. Game 4, they get shut out. Hey, let's put on 4 and maybe make it 5 here as the seconds tick off of the clock. We went to Game 5. It had to be decided on Champions Field, but SSG come out victorious.
Whew! That was a fight for that series overall, but Spacestation Gaming, Arsenal, and Reddles really enjoyed how physical and aggressive they were trying to be, but I gotta say, the fact that FaZe was able to be on top of so many of those situations and really not get pulled that far out of position, despite some of that pressure coming at them, really was quite impressive to watch. And they really made Spacestation go out into the bag of tricks and pull something else out to beat them there. So well played to the FaZe defense. Unfortunately for them, Spacestation is just too good in too many different ways.
Absolutely. It just came down ultimately to a battle over midfield, and Spacestation won by a mile. They continued to get those boost pads. They continued to keep the aggression up, and more importantly, the passing plays made FaZe Clan think way too much, and that's where they beat them.
I'll tell you what, well-played game, and we got one more on the docket coming up next on RLCS X. It's going to be Team Envy versus Rebellion. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay with us.